Hi everyone, my name is Steve Johnson, and this is my Edmodo case study screencast for the Edmodo Certified Trainer program. In this screencast, I'd like to talk about how a teacher can successfully teach Common Core state standards while implementing one-to-one devices using Edmodo. My story is last year I was asked to pilot one-to-one devices in my classroom, and I was faced with a problem right off the bat. How do I do this? How do I successfully use one-to-one devices so that students learn? And the answer to that question was definitely Edmodo. Edmodo was the infrastructure in my classroom. It's how I assigned assignments. It's how I accepted assignments from the students. It's what the students communicated in with each other and with me. It's how I assessed students. And I also used Edmodo Snapshot in order to assess students, which was wonderful. So just another way to put a visual to this, Edmodo is the infrastructure. It was the infrastructure in my classroom last year. So I would assign assignments like a car driving on an on-ramp. The students would work in a web-based program like Google Docs, Google Presentations, and they would kind of drive down the freeway working on that, and then when they were done, they would turn it in via Edmodo. Then I'd take a look at it, and if they did a good job and they were done, I'd give them a grade and a comment. If I needed them to continue working on it, then I give it back to them. They got back on the freeway and they continued working on it until they turned it again to me via Edmodo. So just like a freeway goes through different cities and different states, Edmodo can go through different classes, different curriculum, different years. It doesn't really matter. Students can use Edmodo throughout their whole educational career if they wanted to or could, because it just works so well, and it is the 21st century way of collecting assignments, assessing students, and maintaining a unit digitally throughout a month or more. So the way I usually would start with students last year is I would give them a snapshot. And Snapshot was great. It was actually great because it was a way that I could assess which standard students knew before I started an instructional unit. So for example, last year I created 4 tasks that focused on a reading literature 7.1 standard and then a few other writing standards. So what I did is I assigned a snapshot, and then there were 4 tasks. Each of these tasks was assigned through Edmodo, and the students turned it in via Edmodo. I also created quizzes along the way that assessed the students' knowledge of the book we were reading, and then I finished the unit with another snapshot that the students took. So in other words, I would create assignments by clicking an assignment in Edmodo, and I would assign that assignment to the class or the classes that were going to accomplish that assignment. They would turn it back into me, and then we would keep on going, and I'd assign the next assignment to them via Edmodo. I also created quizzes that they would take, and usually that was just a quick check for understanding if they were reading the book that we were supposed to be reading and understanding some of the concepts. Snapshot was great. Snapshot was the way that I would assess students at the beginning and end of a unit. And Snapshot is also wonderful for complementing district benchmarks that you might have throughout the year as well. So after this, after you get your snapshot data, there's places you can go for help, especially if you see a lot of red in the snapshot, right? There's places you can go. The first thing you can do is you can go to your Edmodo community. And as you can see right here, there are a lot of people I could ask for help. I also have a lot of groups I'm a part of. And if for some reason, my questions aren't answered there, then I have my professional learning community at school. And you could ask them during a PLC meeting, how do you teach this particular standard? How are you finding success for that? Or if those teachers are on Edmodo or in an Edmodo group that you have, you can ask them via Edmodo too, which is really great. So after PLC time, what do? You keep driving down the freeway. You keep using Edmodo to assign assignments, collect assignments, and help students become assessed, and also give them snapshots. And if you keep doing that, then Edmodo, you'll feel like a hero. If it's the infrastructure of your classroom, you will definitely feel like a hero with Edmodo as your ally at the end of the year. So thanks a lot for watching this screencast. I really appreciate it. And feel free to connect with me if you'd like on Edmodo, Twitter, or check out my blog. Thank you.